Big day today for Monmouth football and the athletic department as a whole, as starting in the year of 2014, the football program will be official members of the Big South Conference. Here on Hawk Vision, Matt Harmon along with the head coach Kevin Callahan and director of athletics Marilyn McNeil. Dr. McNeil, let's start with you first. This process really took on a whole nother twist and turn, I guess, when the university decided to join the MAC in all other sports besides football, field hockey, and women's bowling. The process, I'm sure, of joining the MAC was not just an immediate knee-jerk decision. It was something that was talked about and discussed. And I would imagine that in those discussions, what to do with football was something that was also an immediate concern and a long-term concern as well.
It definitely was. And the original conversations that I had with the MAC commissioner, he asked me about football, and I said football was extremely important to Monmouth University. It's an important decision for us. We need to have a home for it, but it wasn't going to be the decision that stopped us from going forward to a conference change if that was the best thing for the institution. But it was, right from the beginning, a concern, and I started to consider what our options were very early as the conversations with the MAC heated up a little bit.
I know you mentioned in the press conference earlier this afternoon that in the course of the fall, there was a phone call that was made to several different conferences, the Big South among them. What was maybe that immediate connection and the positive response that you felt from the Big South that, hey, this could be an option for us?
I just felt very good about the Big South. I thought that we had a lot of similarities in size of institutions. I had watched Stony Brook leave the Northeast Conference and be successful down there. I knew Donnie White from VMI. We had played Coastal Carolina. So when I started to look at the Big South, I thought, you know, this makes a lot of sense for us. I thought it was going to be a really good opportunity. So when I phoned Kyle and I said, you know, we could be really looking for a home and really would like to know if you guys would ever consider an associate member. It was with this big wish that this might be a great opportunity for us.
Coach, this past season, so much of the discussion was 20 years of Monmouth football, of what used to be. Now the discussion is what is Monmouth football moving forward. So many new challenges will arise with this move. New schedule, new opponents, increase in scholarships, different facilities, and a whole new set of travel circumstances and figuring out the best way to get to Lynchburg, Virginia, as opposed to getting out to Loretto, Pennsylvania. But your excitement level talking about this move, I would imagine after 20 years of being a head coach, it's almost like a brand new start.
Oh, it is, and I'm tremendously excited about it, Matt. If you look at our 20-year history, you know, going back to the beginning in 1993, when our immediate goal was just to put a football team out on that field and play, to 1996 when we became one of the charter members of the Northeast Conference and winning our first championship, to 2002 when we started giving some type of limited need-based financial aid for football, and then to 2005 and 2006 when we went to athletic scholarships in football. I think what this represents is yet another significant step in the development of the Monmouth football program. And it couldn't have happened at a better time, and we couldn't be going to a better place. We're entering a conference that's been extremely successful on the football field. They've advanced to the national playoffs and have won games and gone deep into the playoffs. There are names that are recognizable on a national level. And yet at the same time, it gives us all a new beginning and a new start, and we're really looking forward to it.
When the NEC decided to deny Monmouth's associate membership, I would imagine as the football coach there were some nervous times in there with several options maybe to be discussed, and but to be out of a league for only 21 days, is what it turned out to be, I would think says a couple things. Number one, Monmouth is a university, and number two, the football program with some expectations going into the Big South now.
Well, you know, there was some anxiety there. I can't lie to you. I knew we were going somewhere, but to not know where you were going made it a little bit difficult in some aspects of the recruitment, especially in this most recent class. You know, as a coaching staff, we decided to get out in front of it. We contacted everybody that we were recruiting and told them that, you know, bigger and better things were on the horizon and they were going to come very soon. And after having said those words, then I was very hopeful that we would follow through on that. And you know, certainly the invitation from the Big South is something that we're very appreciative of, and I think we have found a great home. it's a conference that I think reflects what we do at Monmouth University, and it's a place where you develop leaders through athletics, and that's what we're all about here. That's what the Big South is all about, and it's a great place for us to be.
Dr. McNeil, so much of the conversation in Monmouth joining the Big South is a raise in scholarships and an increased commitment to the sport of football. You know, it seems like that's almost the opposite of what was the footprint several years ago when schools like Hofstra and Northeastern and BU decided to drop football and go the other direction. Speak, if you can, about what this scholarship raise will mean to the university and how quickly this process will take place.
It's actually going to take place very quickly. Yeah, I think we're going to be in a great position to be at the FCS level, probably, it may be as early as this year. We've always had a plan. I never believed that the Northeast Conference was really going to get stuck at 40, and I was a big proponent every time we met as football athletic directors to say, can't we push this up, can't we push this up? I think the Northeast Conference is in no man's land in terms of that, and so the decision not to have us as an associate member was very liberating, because I knew that this was an opportunity for us. It was a chance for us to fund it where we could be successful, that we could be successful on the field. And you know, Kevin has done a great job of scheduling his out of season game, his out of conference games, and we were playing schools that definitely were a step up. So we wanted to get there. So it's in the budget, it's planned, and we've always planned for it. And I don't think anybody's going to miss a beat here. We're going to get it done, and I'm very, very confident that while we're getting it done, Kevin's just going to find some fabulous athletes.
So scholarships has been one topic of conversation. I think everyone at the university has been quite honest that Kessler Field needs a bit of an upgrade, whether it's you or the president or any member of the trustees. There were some plans that were discussed and talked about today at the press conference. Can you speak to the timeline maybe of how quick things could happen?
I can't speak to that exact timeline. What I can do is give some perspective. Because when we started to build the map, it really became a love affair for everybody that was involved, including all those that had to get a little money out of their wallet, which they all so generously did. But it took a while, and you know, as soon as we built that, the university sort of had to take a deep breath and say, you know, we just gave athletics and student government and student activities a $57 million building, so we're not going to go and build something again, because we had on the table, and we've had on the table, let's fix Kessler Field. So I get that, and I think all of us got that the university had to step back. And so once again, we came forward with this, and kind of in a timely way. It really got a lot of momentum probably 12, 18 months ago. We really started to think about it. And the president got very much behind it, and he was drawing diagrams on the back of napkins and telling us what could be done. And I didn't know the Navy gave an architectural degree at the same time they gave a meteorology degree, but he was excited about it, and of course that was important. And we had a very interesting Board of Athletics, or Board of Trustees Athletics meeting probably over a year ago, where we talked about dressing up for a possible date. And it really was, you know, let's get ready, because if conference change occurs, I want us to be in a position where we're going to be an attractive date, that we're going to have phone calls, and we're going to be able to say no or yes. And part of that means we need to address what we look like. And the Board of Trustees got behind that at that time. And so we went out and did a study and did a facility plan and got these renderings done. So I think there's real momentum right now. It reminds me of the momentum that we got for this, and it takes time. When I came here in '94, I couldn't believe the facility we had, and we started drawing in '96, and it had several renderings, and we finally had the right rendering in 2001, and we opened in 2009. It's not going to take that long for Kessler, because it's not as big a project. But it reminds me of the impetus that finally got going, and everybody realized, yes, we need to do this. And so I think we're beyond that. I think we're now into, we've all agreed, yes, we need to do it, and now it is the how. And we have had a couple of generous donors. That's a long answer to your question, but I do believe I'm very positive that we're on a trajectory upwards here.
Coach, from your perspective in terms of the facilities, I think it's twofold. Number one, it's the recruits when they come on campus, they want to play at a desirable facility, and the location certainly is second to none with the Atlantic Ocean right down the road, but the facility in and of itself on campus is one. And also attracting non-conference opponents to come here as well. When they would come, they would want to be at what they would consider a first-class facility as well.
Well, you do. You always want to have a first-class venue to play your games in, and I think it makes the game day experience that much better for everyone. Certainly the athletes on the field, but for our fan base and the families and the people that come. And we've been very fortunate to draw extremely well here. And I think if we can provide, or when we provide a first-class facility for the fans to sit and watch the game in and be able to go into an indoor restroom and things like that, I think it's going to make it that much better. And you know, it's just it's something that's been needed, but it's something that's going to get done, and it's going to be completed sooner rather than later.
I would imagine the 2014 schedule will be a little bit easier to do than maybe the 2013 schedule. Playing this year as an independent, I know you have spoken on a couple of occasions that the schedule is still in the finality maybe of being tweaked here or there. How soon could we look forward to finding out who Monmouth will be playing in 2013?
For the 2013, we're very close to finalizing that. As a matter of fact, it could be the very first part of next week. It's just realistically, it's a matter of a couple of telephone calls to finalize everything, and I feel very confident about that. And we will have a formidable schedule. We'll have a challenging schedule, and it'll be one that everybody will be proud of. You know, as far as 2014, we've hesitated in scheduling too many opponents outside the Big South until we get the Big South schedule finalized. And you know, we're working on that as we speak.
Dr. McNeil, I kind of view this as a combo move, the move to the MAC in most sports and the move now to the Big South in football. If you look at it, and if I did my geography the right way, it stretches Monmouth's footprint from Buffalo all the way down to South Carolina, which now is a pretty massive area that the university can cover. And I would imagine that's a positive thing for everyone involved with Monmouth.
Well, absolutely is. You've got this tiny little state of New Jersey. We need to stretch, and we're doing that. And I think from a university overall perspective for admissions and opportunity to market Monmouth, it gives us brand new markets and brand new abilities. So I have not had anybody say, oh, that's not a good thing. I really think that all the markets that we're heading into are going to be very exciting. And I, for one, am definitely looking forward to going south.
Every once in a while, it'd be nice to be warm. Would
Yes.
it be in November? Both of you appreciate the time. Looking forward to any other news that comes out, the schedule in and of itself. Anything else, it seems like every other week we've got something going on in that Hall of Fame room. So some more press conferences and continued success. Appreciate the time.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
The head coach, Kevin Callahan, the director of athletics, Dr. Marilyn McNeil, Matt Harmon here on Hawk Vision. For more on this move to the Big South for football starting in 2014, we invite you all to check out our website at gomuhawks.com.